Welcome to Revenue Boost, a marketing podcast, the most valuable podcast for business leaders who need a boost in revenue and business growth. I'm your host, Kerry Curran, and with over 20 years of marketing agency experience driving client business growth, I now run RBMA, Revenue-Based Marketing Advisors, where we help businesses like yours effectively scale revenue growth. Visit revenuebasedmarketing.com or connect with me on LinkedIn today. In this episode of Revenue Boost, a marketing podcast titled Full Funnel Impact, Integrating Influencer Content Across Your Media Strategy, I speak with the brilliant Jaime Cohen, head of U.S. Influencer Marketing at GOAT Agency, part of Group M and WPP. We talk about the evolving power of influencer marketing. And Jaime shares her insights on leveraging creator content to fuel not only brand awareness, but also lower funnel conversions and sales. We discuss how brands can maximize their influencer investments by integrating this content across social, programmatic, digital, out-of-home, and even retail media. Jaime also emphasizes the importance of giving creators flexibility to connect authentically with audiences, balancing brand guidelines with creative freedom. So whether you're new to influencer marketing or looking to refine your approach, this episode offers actionable strategies to amplify reach, build trust, and drive real business growth through influencer integration. Let's go. So welcome, Jaime. Please introduce yourself and share a bit about your background and expertise.
Thank you so much. It's great to be here. I'm Jaime Cohen. I lead U.S. Influencer Marketing at the GOAT Agency, which you know is part of WPP and Group M. I've been in the influencer space for about 12 years. I started out on the media side of the business where I created and led the influencer department at Time Inc. and Meredith through the transition. I moved to the talent side of the business, and now I'm on the agencies and brand side. So I really come at the creator economy from a few different perspectives.
Excellent. So I know we had the benefit of working together
Yeah.
couple of years ago. And even in that short time, I feel like the influencer and creator space in the economy has really evolved. So talk about what are brands asking today when they call you?
Well, it really varies, right? So we look at influencer as a media channel, so we can really achieve goals across the funnel. All brands have different goals. Some want awareness for new products, others, especially more established brands, really aim for a refresh, and others want a stronger focus on consideration and sales. And in some cases, influencers are also integrated into broader strategies that include affiliate marketing to scale through some of those smaller and nano influencers.
So really becoming more of a full funnel solution and kind of tool for those brand clients.
Yeah, I think the false notion about working with influencers is that measurement of ROI isn't possible or that influencers only work as awareness drivers. We're seeing a lot of brands increasingly request CPA and lower funnel conversion goals instead of those solely upper funnel awareness programs. So some are looking for those measurable sales drivers through more accurate measurement of a company's success, really directly linking it to more tangible results.
Yeah, no, and it definitely gives it a bit more credibility when it comes to kind of being part of the overarching media strategy. And so you've talked about some of the benefits being full funnel and it is more measurable. What are some of the other aspects of influencer and creator campaigns that are really beneficial to a brand's performance?
Well, there's so many different ways that we can work with creators, but One of the things that's really important to us and our goal is to make influencer content work harder for brands. So I always recommend weaving the creator content into cross-channel planning across things like social and programmatic and digital out of home and CTV. It really makes the influencer investment work harder. It maximizes a brand's spend. And it also makes the creator content feel more like an integrated solution versus appearing more like a supplemental one-off strategy. And I think also taking the creator content outside the walled gardens of social also really ensures that your influencer campaigns are woven into your broader and holistic marketing strategy.
Yeah, we're definitely seeing that across the board with consumer trends and engagement of having that more user generated content or that more kind of authentic creator influencer content helps aid in that connection that consumers tend to have with a brand, especially when it's a new to the consumer brand, getting that endorsement from somebody that I always joke, some of the influencers or even celebrities that I follow, you feel like they're your friends because they're sharing so much of their lives, and that you do kind of lean in when they're recommending a product or a solution that will be beneficial to you, whether whether you're in market or not. And so I love that you're saying kind of seeing that content elsewhere in the media funnel and or in the media planning and the consumer journey, the full funnel approach. So talk a bit how well or how what the challenges are to getting that kind of influencer content voice to really be part of that broader media plan, and where, what are some of the successes you've had there?
Well, I think that one of the things that you really want to think about is that influencers really provide brands with a level of trust for their audiences, right? So you really want to lean into their creativity and give them a sense of control over the content. Sometimes I see brands hold really tightly over the messaging. And I think it's important to give them specific guidelines that you want them to follow, the do's and don'ts. But you also want to give them that flexibility to interpret the message in a way that's going to be authentic to their audience. Sometimes when brands hold too tightly to that, it can come off as a brand ad versus authentic and engaging influencer content. And that can really hurt the performance of the influencer content, and it can really backlash on brands themselves.
Right. No, that is something that we've been talking about for so long, and and it's worth reiterating, right? It's like, let the creators create. They know what's going to resonate with their audience. They know what their audience responds to, and it is different than other planned creative content that's more that goes through multiple iterations. Like, it is, the benefit is letting the creator take their spin on it and kind of knowing what's going to work.
And it also
But
really works. It's one of the most
yeah,
cost effective and efficient ways for brands to reach their target audience. 63% of audiences trust what influencers say about brands more than what brands say about themselves. And
yeah,
58% of consumers have actually purchased a product in the last 6 months because of an influencer. So, they have that level of trust with their audiences. So the more you can kind of find the right content strategy and carve out a place for your brand in the space, it's really beneficial.
yeah. No, I definitely agree, especially being one of those people that has purchased something
Yeah.
recommended by an influencer. It's very true.
Yeah.
And so I know we know we can it can align with brand goals, whether it's kind of awareness driving or even just engagement and kind of building that um, introduction to broader lines and drive that conversion. So how do you work with your clients on really aligning to the brand goals and making sure that that creator influencer content is aligned?
Well, I think it's important to understand what the KPIs of the program are. That's one of the most important factors when developing a program. And then it's identifying the right creators for the campaign. So there are many ways that we go about that. In addition to being able to look at the performance of the creator, we look at historic performance as well. We look at engagement. We look at the style of content and things like that. But then we'll also layer in additional pieces like retail media where appropriate, to really make sure that we're driving either those upper funnel awareness goals or those lower funnel targets as well, to drive the sales or leads or things like that. So it really depends on what their goals are.
Right. And I know we've talked a bit about the kind of integration of having affiliate links to kind of
Mhm.
align more with those lower funnel goals. How are you seeing, or how are those conversations happening, and how are you seeing your clients kind of consider that as part of their approach with their programs?
Yeah, CPA is becoming a hot topic these days. So very important to the conversation, and also strategic paid media as well. So we're always looking for ways that we can reach those lower funnel targets. Strategic paid media, I want to highlight as well. It's important investment for all brands because of how the platform algorithms really prioritize
Mhm.
content, and with organic content only reaching a fraction of the audience and your core consumer. So I think it's really important to tap into a creator's organic audience and also combine that with like a really highly targeted amplification plan that hones
Mhm.
in on those specific methods of measurement. So whether that's the lower funnel goals, as you were mentioning, of consideration and conversion, but what we also do is we'll test things out. We'll do A/B testing of creative and creator strategies. We'll use retargeting data, and we'll also make real
Mhm.
time optimizations to make sure that we're reaching qualified consumers down the funnel. So all of that's really important. And another element of measurement techniques that we use for brands, especially full funnel actually, is we'll use brand lift studies. So we can provide other trackable metrics to really underscore the impact of influencers on things like brand recall and favorability and purchase intent. So really kind of looking at that full funnel performance objective.
This episode of Revenue Boost, a marketing podcast, is brought to you by Kriglu. Want to boost customer acquisition while saving time and money? Meet Kriglu, an AI-powered omni-channel bid management platform designed to optimize your ad spend. Kriglu intelligently adjusts bids across channels, ensuring your ads reach the right audience at the lowest cost. Plus, with its automation, you'll free up valuable time to focus on your business. The result? Efficient, cost-effective growth, all while maximizing your marketing budget. Ready to scale smarter and faster? Visit Kriglu.com, Krigloo.com, and start saving today. Yeah, no, I love all of those aspects because it really, again, the core goal is, to build that likability, familiarity with your brand,
Mhm.
whether it's a shorter purchase cycle or, a longer term investment that the consumer is looking to make. And I think we've talked about this, and programs that I've been involved with as well, is to your point, you take the creator content, you're amplifying it within either the paid media channels, kind of keeping it as it is, or you can take that video content and mix it into multiple different variations to kind of then make it a video ad, whether it's native or programmatic. And I think that's such a very important role of the creator and influencer content.
Yeah.
Are you seeing that more brands are leaning into that as their content beyond just the social channels?
Absolutely. So we're extending the reach of influencer content to targeted audiences across digital and retail media. So that's a real priority of ours and our clients. So we work with four of the leading DSPs, including Amazon DSP, the Trade Desk, DV360, and Walmart Connect, for example. And we can access retail media data to really showcase influencer content in a display format to drive action. And we can also optimize to many different objectives as well. Because we are part of WPP, we also have an exclusive contract with Amazon Ads. So we can actually push influencer content out programmatically across the DSP. And it means that we can also preserve the authentic influencer aesthetic. So that's very
Mhm.
unique to us. So the content actually appears as social feed content. which is really unique. And as I mentioned, influencer content performs better than brand ads themselves. So it really leverages the trust that audiences have in influencers over brands. We can also use Amazon purchase data, for example, to target audiences, which is really great for reach and awareness campaigns. But we also use the commerce intelligence to really drive and measure impact on sales as well. We're also partnering with platforms to also develop video first influencer solutions that can also pair content with AI powered ad formats. So there's so many ways that we're doing it. The influencer industry continues to evolve at such a great clip. And there are so many ways that we can integrate it into other areas across your planning.
No, I love it. And, like we've talked about, that's the evolution that's been so fast.
Yeah.
It's back, it wasn't that long ago that we were really just looking for reach and maybe some engagement, but being able to tie that into the broader media strategy, especially retail media, and tying it to consumer behavior and using that to target opens up a whole new spectrum of opportunity and should lead to more kind of taking the influencer and creator content more seriously when and prioritizing it more in that broader strategy. What else are you seeing in the kind of the AI space? You talked about using that for the content creation, but what are the other kind of new features or opportunities that AI brings to the influencer and creator content?
Yeah, AI is the hot button issue or topic these days, right? What we're seeing is that about 50% of creators are already leaning into Gen AI to develop content ideas. They can actually discover the latest trends. They can find suggestions to make content go viral. And they can even have AI write engaging social media captions or scripts for them. So brands are also using AI to not only engage, but to also help them better resonate with their audiences on an emotional
Mhm.
level. So I think it's more important than ever to strike a balance with transparency and authenticity and also responsible AI deployment. So there's so many ways that we could use it, right? It can help you create culturally sensitive and locally relevant content. We are a global influencer agency, right? So it can help you analyze those social conversations to understand the cultural trends, the sentiments, the preferences, and then you can use those insights to create content that resonates with cultural context, right? You can also
Mhm.
use it to create a more inclusive and accessible experience for users like those who are non-native or maybe deaf or hard of hearing. So that can include things like closed captions, subtitles. You can have design visuals like infographics, simple layouts, and alt text for users who have visual impairments to help them better understand the context of images. And also, honesty breeds trust, right, between a creator and their audience. And I think one of the things to look at is the AI retouching tools, right? They go beyond what's historically been
Mhm.
available. And I think that can
Right.
also potentially undermine the trust that audiences have with the creator. So I think it's important for creators to label the AI edited content and really be transparent about those enhancements. The one thing to watch out for brands is that AI content can also inadvertently infringe on intellectual property rights. So it's really important that brands and agencies get really familiarized with copyright laws and ensure creators are attributing sources and that the content is unique. So I'd say overall, flexibility and agility are key, and brands that can really adapt and collaborate and prioritize authenticity will really thrive.
Yeah, no, that's so important to point out. I think the benefits, as the conversations and AI continue, the benefits of getting that deeper content, or as you said, I love the being able to kind of really customize and connect with your audience with that additional level of data of what is sensitive or valuable to that audience, plus the adaptability and accessibility, but the watch outs. I think having, to your point, making sure that when you are using those filters to label it, but keeping it authentic, so important. Now, with the evolution of influencer, we've also seen the rapid evolution of the platforms and the shoppability within the platforms. So, talk a bit about kind of where you see the most growth. I know TikTok and TikTok Shop, um, the features and benefits of getting your content on TikTok are, again, also rapidly growing. But what else are you seeing from the kind of platform perspective and landscape?
Yeah, they're continuing to evolve really quickly. We are a TikTok creator exchange partner. We have relationships with Snap, with Google, and all of the platforms. You can definitely see with TikTok the evolution of shops that's very successful. Also, they're branching out into out of phone.
Interesting.
They're trying to kind of compete with out of home as well. So each of the platforms is really evolving at a greater clip to kind of understand better how to reach consumers and how to create that 360 experience. I think Snap is one of the stickier platforms as well. The content is very relatable, so we are starting to work with them a lot more as well and integrate them into a lot of the plans. But I think all of them really, you can see in how we identify the creators as well, that they're really driving a measurable impact for brands, and brands are reaching audiences that they wouldn't necessarily reach otherwise. So it's a really important part of all media plans these days.
Are you seeing that you need to create specific content for each platform, or is there a scale opportunity to kind of testing into, if you're already on TikTok, to test into Meta or?
Yeah, that's interesting. We are seeing a lot of crossover. So creators maybe that are
Mhm.
posting shorts on YouTube are posting that to TikTok and vice versa. Same with Reels, for example. It really depends on the type of content, but we are able to test out certain pieces of content across multiple platforms to test performance.
Yeah, excellent. But it really is, I think one of the most rapidly evolving platform or solutions, or whatever category, content, channel solutions that we've seen in a long time. As fast as retail media grew, I think influencer and creator is eclipsing that at a rapid pace. So it's, especially with, as we talked about the evolution of TikTok and the popularity there. So definitely, it's been amazing to have that front row seat, I'm sure. Like, what is your biggest kind of takeaway that you've seen over the past few years with the evolution?
I think it's that brands do need to evolve. I think that influencer can feel very risky to them because they have a lack of control. But those who are willing to take that ride with creators and really trust them, that they understand their audience a little bit and be able to lean into some of these new technologies, the better that they do perform. So being able to lean into what the platforms themselves are able to release as well. They're developing so many new technologies. So the more adaptable that you can be, the more creative
Mhm.
and the more open you are, the better your performance will be. You need to test and learn some of this stuff, especially if you're not sure, especially if you're an early adopter or new to the space and you're not sure
Mhm.
which platform it should be on, what is the right strategy, which creators are working for you. We always recommend testing some creators, and then also you can transition them into long-term brand ambassadors for you, the top performers. So taking it slow, but identifying the right platforms and the right space to be in. I think the misconception also is that you need to be everywhere all at once.
Mhm. Mhm. Great. Well, thank you so much, Jamie. We're
Thank
very
you.
lucky to have you on today. We appreciate all of your expertise and
Thank
insights.
you. It was
So
great being here.
thank you very much. Yep. And we'll talk soon. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
I hope you enjoyed this episode of Revenue Boost, a marketing podcast. We have more valuable content coming up, so be sure to subscribe to Revenue Boost, a marketing podcast, so you don't miss out. To connect with me, Kerry Curran, and learn how you can boost your revenue or listen to past episodes, Visit revenuebasedmarketing.com.